Hi everyone, Stepan here. I have the white pieces in this one. I'm gonna go d4. So yeah, if you've been watching the lessons Milan and I had for the past few days, you will know that we started training again. Okay, yeah, I'm going to stop talking because I'm playing against the Benoni. So I don't want to talk now. This move order with g6 means that he could still play many different systems, so I'm gonna go knight c3. Now e4 is obviously the critical move, and I'm guessing we're gonna go into a normal modern Benoni. Yep. Okay, so we actually played twice before. I won one game, he won one game. e5 seems tempting. Why isn't e5 playable here? What happens if I go e5? I don't know this move order, so if e5, knight e8 seems forced, unless knight h5 works somehow. So let's say e5, knight e8, knight f3, defending the pawn. Assume d6 or e6. If e6, I go d6, he has the c3 square and the d4 square. If you can hear the rain, I'm sorry, it's been crazy here today. I mean, if I go e5 and he doesn't go knight e8, then I win a piece, so he plays knight e8. Now I'm thinking of playing knight f3. He goes e6. Yeah, I'm just gonna go e5. If there's a line here I'm missing, then okay, I'll be running into that, but I don't see why e5 wouldn't be correct here. This is the main idea for white in Benoni type structures. This isn't a Benoni yet. It's a weird hybrid because we've had no exchanges on d5 and he did not play d6. So I'm not sure what this is, but I'm pretty sure e5 is good for me. So knight e8, if he goes knight h5, I go g4. If he takes on e5, I take on h5, that seems good. I don't see a downside to that at all. Okay, now knight f3, I want to develop my pieces and not move my pawns around. So now I'm expecting e6 or d6. If d6, okay, d6. Now I don't want to take, so I could consider bishop f4. I don't see anything wrong with bishop f4. Bishop f4 seems okay. At least this way he doesn't have the square for his knight on c6. Now I could also consider just giving a pawn away, but I'm not sure I want to do that. So bishop f4 seems sensible. If he then goes knight d7, I take, he takes with the pawn, I guess. I go bishop e2 or bishop d3, that seems okay. If he goes g5, I'm going to take it. If he goes bishop g4, I think I take on d6 and go bishop e2, yeah. Unless I can give a pawn away with bishop e2. So bishop e2, bishop f3, bishop f3. d5. Can I do that? If I go d6, so bishop e2, bishop f3, bishop f3, d5, d6. If he goes knight c6, I take on e7. If queen d1, rook d1, he has to play queen e7. Bishop e2, d5. Sorry, bishop e2, bishop f3, bishop f3, d5, d6. Ah, he has knight d6, idiot. Okay, so I have to take. He has knight d6 defending b7. Okay, so now the knight is on the c4 pawn. If I play bishop e2, he can take on c3, although then he doesn't have, he still has knight d6, but then bishop d6. So bishop e2, bishop f3, bishop f3, knight c4, d6. No, doesn't work. I'm gonna go bishop d3, defending the pawn and developing a piece. Maybe b5 works now. b5, cb5, c4, bishop c2, bishop c3 instead, bc3. Okay. I'm going to castle because I would like to get my king to safety. Does he have e5? He has e5. Well, maybe not yet. So castles e5, bishop g3, e4, bishop d6. Castles e5. I don't want to take en passant unless I absolutely have to. Oh yeah, actually take en passant and the knight on d6 is hanging. Sorry about that. So I can castle. He doesn't have e5. Next I want to go rook e1 and h3. I don't know in which order. I think I like rook e1 first. Okay. I assume I have to take this. I saw this and I thought I was okay. Because my bishop on f4 is kind of awkward. And I'm gonna go f3 next. h3. He's gonna have to give back the bishop pair, so I take. And go h3. Unless I have some tricks with knight e5. Let's just double check. Knight e5, bishop d1. No, I don't think so. He has to take the knight. If the bishop moves to h5, I go g4. If it goes to f5, I take. The storms here today are just crazy. I don't know what's going on. You can probably hear it. I feel like his knight, even though it looks nice on d6, is kind of awkwardly placed. Why am I playing so slowly? Why do I have less time on the clock? I'm gonna have to speed up. Bishop f6 makes sense. So does rook e1. He still doesn't have b5. So I'm gonna go rook fe1. Is there any trouble on f2 with bishop d4? I don't think so. Okay, I don't know what queen b6 does. So if I just go rook b1, everything is defended. If takes, queen a5. Wins a pawn, but I have the bishop. And I could take on e7, so I'm just gonna go rook b1. It seems okay. Obviously now my e1 rook is tied down to the defense of b1 because of the pin on c3. But I'm pretty sure I can go knight e4 on the next move and trade the knight. Okay, so he just wants to win a pawn. I could go knight e4 because he cannot take on b2. And if he takes on c4, I take on f6. So knight e4, knight c4, knight f6, ef6. Do I take on f6? I think I do take on f6. If knight b2, I have rook e2. I think knight e4 is the only move, so I'm not gonna waste time. Now if he takes on e4, I'm gonna play queen e4. Yeah, and then I'm gonna move my h-pawn to try and soften the king side. Do I have to be worried about b5? Queen e4, b5 takes, queen takes. No, it's okay. On bishop b2 I could also just go queen e2. I don't have to go rook e2. Okay, now my idea is h4, h5. So, h4. If he goes e6, I take twice. If he goes rook e8, I go h5. He goes e6, I take on g6. That also seems okay. If he goes h5, that seems scary. I go g4. And if he allows h5 and takes, he has to take with the h-pawn. Then I want to go rook e3, rook g3. Okay, I'm going h4. In opposite colored bishop positions, the one attacking usually has the advantage, so that's what I'm gonna do. Now, I don't think h5 is playable. h5 seems ridiculous by him. And if he doesn't play h5, then I play h5. I don't know. I mean, probably it's about equal, but if I had to choose, I would choose white. I don't understand rook d6. He wants to defend g6. But if the bishop moves away, I take on e7, and the e8 square is no longer defended. So he cannot really easily move the bishop away. So yeah, I'm just gonna go h5. If he goes e6, I take on g6. I don't think rook d6 was a good move. Okay. So I feel like I should take. But if I take, he can take with the f pawn and play bishop d4, double attacking f2. He can play bishop d4. So how about starting with rook e3? Rook e3 if bishop d4. I could take on e7. If rook h8. Okay, I'm going rook e3. I like rook e3. I don't think I'm hanging anything. If bishop d4, I can go rook f3 or rook h3, and then if queen d2, the worst option is probably queen f3. It defends everything. But I don't really like rook h3 because of rook f6. So I feel like rook f3 is more precise if bishop d4. Defending f2 in advance. Okay, now he wants to go bishop d4, winning the exchange. Or not winning the exchange, because I have rook f3 still. Defending. Can I go rook g3? He goes bishop d4. Do I have any tricks with queen f4? I don't think so, because I have no checks. He still doesn't have bishop b2. I'm not really sure what to do. I don't want to move my rook, allowing his queen to g5. But I don't know what to do. If I go rook e2, he goes queen g5. I don't like that. If I go rook e1, he plays queen b2. If I go h6, I'm sort of locking my pawn in there. Okay, I'm going rook f3. I want to keep defending. I'm going to allow the queen to g5. But I want to run away from the tempo bishop d4 so that I can take the pawn on e7. And if he does play queen g5, maybe in this position I can go rook g3. No, bishop b2 also isn't playable because of queen e7. Everything's defended and I'm threatening to take on d6. I don't understand b6. I think he just wants to play quickly. So let's pass the move to him, or can I do something more useful? Let's give my rook the option to go to the h file. I'm gonna go g3, king g2 to be able to play rook h1. I don't really see why I would want my rook on the e file. King g2, rook h1 seems good. Okay, so now I take. He takes with the pawn. I go king g2. All of that seems okay. If he goes rook h8, I go rook h1. Not losing the b pawn because the e pawn. The e pawn doesn't hang. The e pawn doesn't hang. The e pawn doesn't hang. I didn't see that. How scary is queen h5, queen h1? If rook e1, queen h5, king f1, queen check, I go to e2. Okay, I think this is okay. I'm gonna allow queen h5 or queen h6 if he wants to play it. I don't think I'm getting mated. I want to get my king out of there. I didn't see that my b-pawn was hanging, otherwise I would have played rook h1, trading off a pair of rooks. I have a minute on the clock. No! He can actually go e6, and I cannot take, because my rook is hanging now. Okay. Now my rook isn't hanging anymore. But after queen h1, king e2, he can still go e6. But then at least my d-pawn isn't hanging. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I feel like my king is going to be pretty safe on e2. But then again, the e file can open up easily. Yeah, I would really like to have my bishop on g2. Even though it seems to be a good attacking piece now, g3 was a mistake without my bishop tucked away near my king. Yeah, he could have gone e6 on the previous turn. Now maybe no. Wait, rook f6, king f6, queen f4, king e7 is forced. And then I take on e6, threatening queen f7. But I could go queen f4 straight away. Queen f4, e5 is the only move. Then I go rook e5. Ah, but he has queen e5. Okay, but at least I keep the position closed. I'm gonna go queen f4. I think e5 is the only move. Wait, what? He takes on f3. Why did I think this was good for me? Jesus. He can take on f3, I missed that. Although I could have gone g4 there. No, but g4, queen h1, king e2. Yeah. Ugh. I don't know why he did this. He undefended his rook by moving the queen away. And the bishop cannot move because of f7, and the rook cannot move because of the bishop. So he probably plays queen d7 here. I mean, does bishop e4 make sense? I don't think so. I have 20 seconds on the clock. This is dreadful. If he takes on e1, I take on d6. Okay, so queen d6. Does he have any checks? Okay, I just need to play quickly. Queen h6 loses the rook. Bishop g5 loses the rook. Moving the rook loses the bishop. He doesn't have bishop c3. On queen h1 he gets mated. Okay, I mean, I think I'm gonna be a piece up. I don't see how he saves a piece here. Okay, that's probably a good move. But I do have queen. I don't have queen e7. Jesus. What do I do? La 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 la. I don't know what to do. No, I lost on time. No. I was expecting I could go queen e7, but he has bishop check. I think this is the first time my flag fell. Ah, he had rook f7, idiot! Rook f7, king f7, queen g6. No! How could my flag fall? I just go rook f7. I just go rook f7. No! I go rook f7. And this. And the king moves and I take the rook. Ah! And I'm 2 pawns up. I think I have rook f7. Let's see. Yeah, rook f7. Jesus! No! Okay, I'm upset now. Let me just write in the chat. Ah! Yeah, people in the chat are saying rook f7 3 2, rook f7 3. Okay, let's have a look at the game. I'm so upset. Why is this different? This looks different. Something looks different. How do I fix that? Ah, okay. Okay, let's see about e5. That's the first thing. Okay, knight f3 best. e5 is okay. No, here h4. I'm sorry, I have to answer a question in the chat. Do you have any information about whether Versa Open will happen in 2024? It will. Okay, sorry about that. Knight f3. Wait, I should have played h4 again, giving up a pawn. Okay, this obviously is a line. Let's see if it was ever played. Once. Seems about equal. At which point was I winning? So my plan with h4, h5 is good. Rook f3 is good. g3 is okay. King g2 isn't. Oof. Okay, so queen h5. e6. Okay, queen f4. I was losing. ed5. Queen h3, king e2, queen is... Yeah, rook d8 is imprecise. Queen d7, I said he should go queen d7. Now taking the rook loses, just takes on d6. Rook f7. Rook f7, king f7, queen g6. And I take on e1. How, I saw it and I calculated it 2 seconds after I flagged. Ah, okay, yeah. What can you do? Thanks for watching, guys. I hope I don't flag next time. Stay tuned for more chess. Bye bye.